Just quickly, price prediction for Bitcoin by year end. And if Kathy Wood's right, and we got 1 billion users by 2025, she's at ARK Invest, then what does that indicate the price is going to be, roughly?
So I got it at 100,000 by year end. We're at 50,000 right now. Could I be off? I think I could be off, but it's going to be more on timing than it's going to be on price. Could it end up being the first quarter of 2022? But it's going to 100,000. You don't have this amount of demand and this type of fundamental growth in it, and this limited level of supply where it won't push the price up. And if Kathy's right, and I believe she will be, it's 1 billion users by the end of 2025. We're talking about at least a $500,000 coin at that point. And remember, these things can be broken up into Satoshis. There's 100 million Satoshis per Bitcoin. At some point, I think someone's going to create a stable coin. You know how we have a baby Berkshire as an example. They'll create a stable coin that's a fraction of a big Bitcoin. And you'll see some of that happen. And remember, if they introduce ETFs in the US, and there are many applications, mine is among them, that will be incremental and exponential demand for Bitcoin and things like Ethereum.
You know, I'm just taking a step out of the room and looking at the two of us. You know, you've been on Wall Street since 1990. You are now calmly talking to me about an asset doubling in price in the next 6 months with liquidity, with access. Have you ever remembered any situation in your entire banking history where there was an asset like this, where you were this confident of the probability of that happening?
Well, there should have been. There wasn't, but there should have been. I should have been this confident with Amazon. Truth be told, I listened to Jeff give his presentation, and then I listened to Mr. Buffett give his, and I sided with Warren Buffett, and I missed Amazon. Truth be told, I had the same reaction to Google. Had the opportunity to buy it on the IPO. I didn't. It traded off on the IPO. I was smug about that. And then it took off to the races, became one of the most successful investment stories in history. So the answer is yes, there are many stories like this. Okay, go look at a price chart of Apple Computer from the day that Steve Jobs returned to Apple Computer to today. That is a Bitcoin-like move. And I would say to you that I should have been, but I wasn't. And I think what's happened to me as I've gotten older, I want to adapt. I want to have an understanding of what the younger generation is looking at. And I want to have more self-confidence in my judgment in terms of picking things that are growing. And so that would be Bitcoin. In other words, I missed Google and Apple and Facebook. I don't want to miss Bitcoin. And frankly, I don't want my clients to miss it.
I think most people missed the tech boom and getting in on it. I mean, some of your clients would have bought and, made some great gains on the FANGs and stuff like that. But I think most people missed also because they didn't have access to it. And the Bezoses and the Zuckerbergs got rich. This is one of the first examples where you have access early on. Again, you were at that presentation with Jeff, but getting access to pre-IPO stuff was hard back then. Now we kind of have access with the blockchain, and now it's peer-to-peer to where we all win and we're part of the community. I mean, it's a different game, which probably leads to its growth, which I guess is why we're talking about it right now. I mean, the more I learn about this every week that I'm in this, sometimes I wake up and I look at CoinMarketCap, Anthony, and maybe you feel like this too, and I say, this is all wrong. Like this, I could blink and this will be triple what I'm seeing now. And I just try to check myself and say, am I being realistic? Do you have those moments? Well, you clearly do if you're expecting these price appreciations where you look at it and say,
I do, but also like you, I experienced the downdraft of the March 2000 NASDAQ. Okay. And just for reminder's sake, it was at 5,000. It traded down in about 6 or 8 weeks to 2,500. Many companies got wiped out in that. But yet, if you had the fortitude to hang on, the NASDAQ's at 15,000 today. The point being is good quality. If you buy it and you hold it, I think that's a big lesson I would like to share with the London Real listeners and viewers. The smartest people that I've come in contact with in my life had the durability and the persistence and the discipline to buy really good quality things and hold them irrespective of where price activity was near term. And so to me, you're right. It could triple. It could drop by 50%. It went down more or less 50% in the month of May. I didn't sell a share. If anything, I was adding to it. And I would just tell people to have the fortitude and the patience to see through the current short-termism to a brighter horizon. If you'd held the NASDAQ as it went from 5,000 to 2,500, the move from 2,500 to 15,000, you were well rewarded.